Nathan Reed had everything people prayed for. At just 30, he was already one of the richest men in the country. His father had built Reed Holdings into a giant. Hotels, estates, malls, factories, and big blocks of land in different states. When his father died, all of it fell on him. On paper, his life was perfect. He lived in a Lagos penthouse on the island. The penthouse had glass walls. One side looked over the lagoon. Far away, the third mainland bridge stretched long, like a silver snake. At night, the whole city shone. Cars moved like small red and white ants. To many people, that view was a dream. To Nathan, it had started to feel like a cage made of glass. He had cars that made people turn on the road. He had drivers, chefs, security, assistants. People rushed to open doors for him, to pull chairs, to carry his files. In boardrooms, men much older than him called him Sir. Magazines called him the Golden Sun, the Young Lion of Lagos, the Billionaire Prince. But inside, Nathan was tired. Very tired. That night, he came back from another big event at a hotel his company partly owned. It was full of influencers, big boys, society babes, music that was too loud and laughter that did not reach anybody's eyes. He threw his jacket on the couch and walked straight to the balcony with a glass of wine in his hand. The cold air hit his face. Down below, real life was moving. A danfo struggled through traffic. A woman balanced a bucket on her head and held a small child with her other hand. Two boys were walking and sharing one earphone, nodding their heads to a song only they could hear. His date for the night had been one of those Instagram models with millions of followers. Long hair, body-hugging dress. Everybody stared when she entered the room with him. She laughed at his jokes, touched his arm at the right time. She leaned in as if she cared about his words. "Nathan," she had whispered, "you know, I have this business idea. If you can just support me with 300 million now, we can take over the whole market." He had stopped listening after that. He was not surprised. He was just tired. Every time it was like that. Some business idea, some small support, some little help that was never little. Nobody asked, "Are you happy?" Nobody asked if he slept well. Nobody asked if his heart was okay. Now, standing on the balcony, he sipped the wine. Even the taste felt like nothing. Inside the house, the lights were warm and perfect. The furniture was expensive. The air smelled like a mix of perfume and new leather. Still, the place felt empty. His phone vibrated on the table. He did not rush to check it, but the screen lit up anyway. It was a message from Lowell, his strategy director. "Lowell, boss, the board is asking again about those village lands on our books. Marcus says we should stop wasting them. Adiemi Mining is ready to move. We can sign the MOU and start clearing the bush this year." Nathan stared at the message for a few seconds. Those village lands were just lines on his company asset list. Old concessions, old deals from his father's time. He had not really paid attention to any specific one. He typed a short reply. "Nathan, we will talk about it tomorrow." He dropped the phone again. His mind was far. He leaned on the balcony rail and looked down at the road. He saw a young guy in simple clothes holding his girlfriend's nylon bag. The girl was laughing at something he said. They looked like they did not own much, but they looked full. Nathan felt a strange pain in his chest. "I can buy anything," he thought, "but I cannot buy that look in her eyes." He remembered something his father once told him in a hospital room. His father had been lying there, tubes and wires everywhere, but his voice was still firm. "Nathan," he said, "money is a tool, not a god. Money with peace is blessing. Money without peace is punishment. Don't let this company become a curse on your head." At that time, Nathan thought he understood. Now, looking at all he had, and how empty he felt, he knew he had not understood anything. Tears stung his eyes, but he blinked them back. "I just want one person," he whispered into the night. "Just one person who would love me if I had nothing." The city shone back at him, but it did not answer. The next day at the office, his body was there, but his mind was tired. In the boardroom, numbers danced on the screen, charts, graphs, forecasts. Marcus Adiemi, one of the board members, was talking with energy. "If we release those unused rural lands," Marcus was saying,
We can sign with Adeyemi Mining and triple returns in 2 years. We are sitting on gold, and we are crying that profit is slow. Let's be serious, gentlemen. Some of the others nodded. Nathan looked at the slide. On one line, his eyes caught a name.
Aura Land Block C7, Aura. He had seen that name before, years ago, when his father pointed at some document and said, "Old concession, somewhere in the bush. We will figure it out later." It had never felt urgent. No, Marcus was calling it unused asset. "Nathan," Marcus said, "young man, say something. You know we need something bold this year. The market is tight." Everyone turned to him. Nathan cleared his throat. "We will not rush," he said quietly. "Those lands have people on them. They are not just bush. I want a full report before I sign anything." Marcus frowned. "People?" he said. "Those small villages? We will relocate them, pay them something. They will be fine. Development must come." "It will not come today," Nathan replied. Meeting adjourned. He stood and walked out before they could argue. In his office, the glass walls looked over the same city. He felt trapped again. He saw his reflection in the glass. Perfect suit, perfect tie, dead eyes. He picked up his phone and scrolled through his contacts until he saw one name that still felt real. Tunde. They had been friends since their university days. Back then, Tunde only knew him as Nathan, a smart guy whose father had a business, not as billionaire prince. Tunde now worked with him in Reed Holdings, but their friendship was older than any company. Nathan typed, "Nathan, you home tonight?" The reply came fast. Tunde, "Yes, Amelia cooked. Come and eat real food. You sound like somebody who needs soup." Nathan smiled despite himself. "Nathan, I will come. 7 p.m. Tunde's house was on the mainland, in a calm estate, not poor. Not loud, just simple. Nathan drove himself. No driver, no convoy. He parked, stepped out, and the first thing he smelled was stew. Real stew, not plated, decorated, fine dining stew. A small boy opened the door before he could knock. "Uncle Nate!" the boy shouted and jumped on him. Nathan laughed and carried him. "You want to break my back?" he asked. Tunde came out behind the boy, grinning. "My guy," he said, and hugged Nathan. "Welcome. You look finished." "Thank you," Nathan said dryly. "Good evening to you too." They went inside. The house was warm. The wall had family pictures. The TV was showing a cartoon with low volume. The sofa had a small stain where juice had once been poured. It felt like real life, not like a showroom. Amelia, Tunde's wife, came out of the kitchen, wiping her hands on a towel. "Nathan," she said, smiling. "See your face. You don't sleep again?" "I try," he said. "You are not trying well," she replied. "Sit. Food is almost ready." Dinner was rice, stew, and fried plantain. They prayed a short prayer, no long big grammar. "Father, thank you for food, thank you for work. Keep us. Amen." Nathan ate and felt his body relax. He did not know if it was the hot pepper or the peace in the room, but something inside him loosened. After dinner, the children dragged him to the balcony to show him something. They had small plastic buckets and old paint containers lined up in a row. Inside each, a plant was growing, a tomato plant here, small pepper plant there, a stick of spring onion. "We are doing garden," the little girl said proudly. "Mummy says plants tell the truth." Nathan bent to look. "They are small," he said. "They will grow," Amelia said from behind them. "If we keep watering. Plants are honest. If you care for them, they grow. If you ignore them, they die. No lie can help you." Her words stayed in his head. Later, when the children slept, Nathan sat with Tunde and Amelia in the sitting room. The fan above them turned slowly. "So talk," Tunde said. "What is holding your neck like this?" Nathan was quiet for a moment. Then the words came. He told them about the empty dates, like the one yesterday. The way ladies smiled with their lips but counted his money with their eyes. The way he looked around his penthouse and felt like a stranger inside his own life. He told them about the board, Marcus,
and the pressure to sign away the village lands, like aura for mining. He ended with a sigh.
Sometimes, he said, I look at this life and ask myself, is this all? Tunde and Amelia listened without interrupting. When he finished, Amelia spoke first. You said aura, she asked. Yes, Nathan said. You know it? She nodded slowly. My mother is from there, she said. We used to go when I was small.
Long dusty road, big mango trees, a river that bends like this. She traced a curve in the air. People there may not have much money, but they have each other. They will share last plate with neighbor. Nathan sat up. So aura was not just a file, not just a line in an asset register, it was somebody's home. Amelia looked at him. When you people in the city talk about rural land, she said softly, you talk as if the land is empty. But every place you call empty has children running on it, has old people resting, has graves behind small houses. When you push pen on paper, real lives move. Her words cut him. He looked at his hands. These hands that sign, he thought. What have they really done? Tunde shifted forward on the sofa. Maybe that is your problem, Nate, he said. You see numbers all day. You need to see people again. Real faces, real sweat. So what do I do? Nathan asked. Carry my whole board to Aura and tell them to weed farm? Tunde chuckled. Before board, he said. Start with yourself. Amelia nodded. You said you want someone that will love you if you had nothing, she said. Then go somewhere where nothing is normal, where your name means zero, where nobody cares if you own 10 hotels or 10 shirts. Nathan frowned. You want me to go and live in a village? He asked. Do you have another plan? Amelia asked calmly. He opened his mouth, then closed it again. The thought scared him, but it also pulled him. What if I go? He said slowly. Just go. No suit, no driver, no company name, just go. Live small for a while. Tunde looked at him. I can handle things here for some time, he said. Lawal too. You will still join meetings online sometimes, but you don't have to sit in this glass cage every day. Amelia added, and maybe, just maybe, you will find what you are looking for in a place that has never seen your face on TV. Nathan leaned back. Silence sat with them. You people will not kill me, he said at last. Half joking, half serious. Tunde laughed. Better this than to die slowly inside air-conditioned sadness, he said. Nathan did not answer, but a seed had been planted. That night, when he got home, he did not go straight to the balcony. He went to his bedroom wardrobe. He opened the big doors. Rows upon rows of suits stared at him, shirts in neat color order, ties arranged like a rainbow, polished shoes sitting in a line. They all smelled like success. They also smelled like suffocation. Slowly he pushed them aside and reached to the back of the top shelf. His hand touched something soft. He pulled it out. Old jeans. A faded t-shirt from his university days. The picture on it was almost washed away. There was a small tear near the collar. He remembered wearing that shirt to night class, eating bread and egg with Tunde outside the hostel, when life was simple and he did not know the meaning of board pressure. He held the shirt to his face and closed his eyes. Who was I before, sir? He asked himself. He put the shirt and jeans on the bed. Then he took a notebook and sat at his desk. He started to write in small, plain words. Take a break. Leave Lagos for a while. Go to Aura. No flashy car. No suits. No Mr. Reed. Work with my hands. Live as a normal man. Find out who I am without money. He looked at the words. His heart beat fast. He added one more line. Maybe find love that is not for money. He stared at that last line for a long time. His chest felt tight and light at the same time. He stood up and folded the page, as if the decision would escape if he left it open. He went back to the balcony. The city lights still shimmered. But now something was different. He did not feel trapped. He felt cold. He remembered Amelia's description of Aura. Long road, bending river. People who judge a man by his hands and his heart. He put his hand on the cold rail. I am coming, he whispered into the dark. This time, the silence did not feel empty. It felt like it was waiting for him. The next morning, Nathan woke before his alarm. His heart was not calm, but it was not dead. It was moving. He bathed, dressed in a simple t-shirt and shorts, and went straight to his wardrobe. He did not touch any of the suits. He took the old jeans and faded t-shirt from the bed and wore them. The clothes were rough. They did not sit on his body like his tailored shirts. But somehow he felt lighter. He picked up one small backpack. He folded 2 more shirts, 1 extra jeans, underwear, and a pair of strong boots into it. He added the small, cheap button phone he bought the day before in a corner shop. He left his 2 expensive smartphones on the table. He picked some cash. He looked around the room. The watches in the glass box, the leather briefcases, the perfumes lined up. He left all of them. In his office later that morning, he called Tunde and Lawal into his private meeting room. They sat. He paced. "I'm traveling," he said. "For how long?" Lawal asked. "I don't know," Nathan answered. "I'll still join big meetings online, but for now you two will run most of the daily operations. Lawal, you handle strategy and reports. Tunde, you double-check any major decision, especially anything to do with land. Nothing gets signed on Aura or any mining deal until I say so." Lawal frowned. "Is this about Marcus's proposal?" he asked. "It's about everything," Nathan said. Tunde watched him quietly, then nodded. "Okay," he said. "Go and find your life. We will hold this place." Lawal looked confused. "Nathan, are you sure this is the time?" "This is exactly the time," Nathan cut in, but his voice was gentle. "Send me weekly reports. If there is fire, call me. But for now, no deals that will break people's homes. Especially not Aura. Use the Foundation arm to review rural projects. Look for where we can fix, not destroy." Lawal studied his face and saw something there he had not seen in a long time. Decision. He sighed. "Okay," he said. "I don't understand everything, but I trust you." After they left, Nathan sat alone for a few minutes. Then he stood, took the backpack, and left his office without the usual drama. No driver, no convoy, just him. At the basement, he did not enter any of his flashy cars. He used an old plain SUV the company kept for simple errands and drove himself out of the island into the long road that left Lagos behind. The city thinned. The air changed. Tall buildings gave way to short shops, then to trees. He drove past towns, then smaller towns. The road went from smooth to rough, from black to brown to deep red. He stopped a few times to ask for direction, using the cheap phone to check the small map Tunde had drawn for him. By afternoon, he saw it. A small sign by the side of the dusty road. "Welcome to Aura." He slowed down. The village was quiet, but not dead. Children ran barefoot, chasing a homemade ball. Women balanced big bowls on their heads and talked, their laughter sharp and bright. Men pushed wheelbarrows loaded with firewood or cassava. Smoke rose from small stoves at the side of houses. The houses were simple blocks with zinc roofs. Some were painted sky blue or yellow. Some were just cement, the paint idea never completed. Chickens moved freely, scratching the ground like they were searching for lost secrets. Nathan parked near a small shop that had "provision store" painted in fading letters. An old woman sat in front, counting coins. "Good afternoon, Mama," he greeted. She lifted her head and looked at him from his head down to his boots. "Afternoon," she answered. "You are not from here." "No, Ma," he said, smiling. "I am looking for work. I can do farm work. Do you know any farmer that needs help?" She squinted, still studying him. His jeans looked new. His boots looked strong. His hands, even though he tried to roughen them a bit, still looked like they had not known real suffering. "You sure?" she asked. "Farm work no be play." "I am sure," he said. She hummed. "Go down this road," she said at last, pointing with her lips. "Last house before the bush. Big mango tree in front. That is Pakola's house. He is stubborn like goat, but his heart is clean. If he accepts you, you will learn work." "Thank you," Nathan said. He drove slowly down the narrow road until he saw the mango tree. It was big and old, spreading shade over the small compound. There was a low house with cracked walls. Behind it, he could see the starting edge of a farm, green and brown rows stretching towards the bush. Under the mango, an old man sat on a low stool, peeling cassava with a small knife. His hair was grey and his beard thick and white. His skin was dark and lined like a map of many years. Nathan parked and came down. "Good afternoon, sir," he greeted with respect. The old man looked up. "Afternoon," he replied. His voice was rough but not harsh. "Yes? You are looking for who?" "I heard you have a farm," Nathan said. "My name is John. I'm looking for work. I can do anything. Dig, weed, carry, plant. I don't mind where I sleep. I just want to work." The old man's eyes sharpened. "My name is John," he repeated slowly. "You are from where, John?" "Lagos," Nathan said.
"I grew up there, but I needed change." The old man snorted. "Everybody here is trying to run to Lagos," he said. "You are running from it. Maybe you are wise. Maybe you are foolish." He stood up, joints cracking, and pointed with his knife toward the back. "You say you can work?" he asked. "Come and show me. Mouth is cheap, hand is expensive." Nathan followed him to a corner of the farm. The sun was hot. The soil looked hard. The old man gave him a hoe. "Loosen this patch," he said. "Don't just scratch the surface like chicken. Go deep. Roots need soft ground." Nathan gripped the hoe. He swung. The metal hit the ground with a dull thud and bounced. Pain ran up his arms. He almost dropped it. The old man laughed. "City hand," he said. "Soft like bread." Nathan reset his grip and tried again. He swung the hoe harder, bending his knees. This time it cut into the soil. Dust rose. Sweat already formed on his forehead. He kept working. The sun showed no mercy. His back started to ache. His palms began to burn, small blisters forming. Many times his body whispered, "Stop." But something inside him said, "No, you asked for this. Finish small." After some time, the old man raised his hand. "Enough," he said. Nathan stopped, chest heaving. The old man stepped into the patch and pressed the soil with his bare foot. He nodded. "Not bad," he said. "Not neat, but not lazy. You did not run away, that is something." Nathan straightened slowly. "Thank you," he said, breathing hard. The old man looked at him again. "My name is Kola Adeyemi," he said. "Here they call me Pa Kola. This land has been in my family for years. It feeds us when it feels kind. It punishes us when we are stubborn. If you will work here, you must respect it." "I will," Nathan said. "I don't have money to pay big salary," Pa Kola continued. "You will eat what we eat. You will sleep in the small room behind. You will work when there is work. When there is no work, you will still find something to do. No lazy man lasts here." "That is fine," Nathan said at once. "I did not come for money." Pa Kola's eyebrows rose. "So you came for what?" he asked. Nathan opened his mouth. Many answers wanted to come out. "I came for peace. I came to run away. I came to find love." Instead, he just said, "I came for work." Pa Kola studied him, as if he could see all the other answers hiding behind. He said. "We will see." He turned towards the house and shouted, "Ruth, we have one extra mouth. Add water to the soup." A voice floated from inside. "I already saw him from the window," the voice replied. "You have a big heart and small pocket, Papa. One day, you will carry the whole world into this house." Nathan chuckled softly. A moment later, a young woman came out. She wore a simple gown and plastic slippers. Her hair was packed back in a rough bun. Soap clung to her wet hands. She had strong arms, a straight back, and tired eyes. But behind the tiredness there was light. Her face was not the kind people on Instagram would call perfect, but it was the kind that made you feel safe. "This is my daughter Ruth," Pa Kola said. "She is the one that holds this house together. I am just old bone." Ruth wiped her hands on her gown and looked at Nathan from head to toe. "So this is the stranger who wants to be farmer,"
she said. Yes, Nathan replied. Good afternoon. Afternoon, she answered shortly. Listen well. Here, we don't have generator for you to on and off. We don't have AC. We don't have chef. We have sun, sweat, and sometimes food. If you came for soft life, turn back now. Nathan gave a small, honest smile. If I wanted soft life, I wouldn't be here, he said. She looked like she wanted to argue, but changed her mind. Go and wash your hands, she said instead. Food will soon be ready. Papa, please don't bring home somebody that will faint after one day. Pacola laughed. If he faints, he will wake up, he said. If he runs, we will use his story as lesson. Ruth shook her head and went back inside. Nathan stood there feeling the sun on his skin and the dust under his boots. This was not the life he was used to. But for the first time in a long time, he felt like he was somewhere that did not care who he was yesterday. The small room at the back of the house had a thin mattress, a small window, and a nail on the wall to hang clothes. That was all. No AC, no soft carpet, no flat-screen TV. When night fell, the sounds of the village replaced the constant hum of Lagos. Crickets, far-off laughter, a baby crying somewhere. He lay on the thin mattress and stared at the ceiling. Every part of his body hurt from the few hours of work he had done.
His palms burned, his shoulders ached, but his heart felt calmer. He slept, not long, not deep. He woke up many times to strange sounds. Goat, wind, a lizard running on the roof. But when the rooster shouted before dawn, and Ruth's footsteps started in the kitchen, he got up. The sky was pale grey. Dew sat on the grass. The air was cool and smelled of wet earth and smoke. Ruth was at the well, pulling water with a rope. She looked at him. So you woke up, she said. Yes, he answered. I heard the cock. Good, she replied. Here, the cock is your alarm. If you ignore him, you will suffer. She filled a bucket and set it in front of him. Carry this to the backyard, she said. We need water there. He bent to lift it. The bucket was heavy. Very heavy. He almost asked, Is there no wheelbarrow? But he swallowed the complaint and carried it, arms shaking. By the time he set it down where she pointed, his fingers felt numb. Not bad, she said. You did not fall. That is something. Breakfast was boiled yam and pepper sauce. Nathan ate with real hunger. He could not remember the last time he ate so fast. You eat like somebody that ran from war, Ruth said. Maybe I did, he replied quietly. She looked at him for a second, then looked away. Days turned into a pattern. Wake before dawn. Fetch water, feed goats, go to the farm. Come back. Bathe with cold water. Eat, sleep, repeat. At first, every day felt like punishment. Nathan's body complained about everything. His hands blistered and then hardened. His back felt like it would break, but somehow it did not. His skin darkened under the sun. His nails became dirty no matter how he tried. But slowly, he started to change. The hoe no longer bounced every time he used it. His arms grew stronger. His movements became less clumsy. He began to understand when the soil was too dry, when it was too wet, when weed was hiding among good crops. Sometimes Pacola corrected him harshly. Don't rush, he would say. This is not paper you are signing. This is land. If you rush land, it will disgrace you. Sometimes he praised him. City boy, the old man would say. You are learning. You are not totally useless. Those small praises meant more to Nathan than any big title in this city. At night, he sat outside under the mango tree. Ruth would sometimes sit too, shelling beans or spreading gari on a tray. They did not talk much at first. When they did, the talk was simple. How was the farm? Hot. How was the market? Crowded. But slowly the words grew. He learned that her mother had died 5 years ago after a long sickness. He learned that she had refused to marry any of the men that wanted her because most of them did not want a wife, they wanted a free house help. She learned that both his parents were gone. He told her the truth about that part.
He did not tell her the size of their company. He did not tell her his last name. He stayed John from Lagos, who was tired and looking for space. One evening she asked, "Why did you really leave Lagos?" He poked the sand with a stick. "I was choking," he said. "Inside big house with AC?" she asked, a small smile on her lips. He smiled back. "Yes," he said. "Sometimes noise is not outside. It is inside your own head. I needed quiet. I needed to remember who I was without all the things around me." She looked at him for a few seconds and nodded. "That one I understand," she said. "Sometimes this village feels too small for my anger. I come and sit by the river until it carries my noise away." "Will you show me the river one day?" he asked. "Maybe," she replied. One hot afternoon, when everyone was on the farm, a small white car drove into the village. It had the logo of a bank on the side. Dust followed it until it stopped under the big tree. A man in shirt and tie stepped out, holding a file and a small tablet. He asked for Pa Cola. Nathan and Ruth watched him from a distance as he and some elders talked. Soon, voices rose. Ruth marched forward. "What is it?" she demanded. The man showed them a paper. "This is final notice," he said. "The land used to secure old loan will be taken if the balance is not paid in 30 days. Our client has waited long enough. They are ready to move. Everything is legal." Ruth snatched the paper. Her eyes ran over the words. Right there, in black and white, she saw it. Reed Holdings PLC Primary Secured Party. Her heart dropped. Pa Cola's hand shook as he held the edge of the paper. "How much?" he asked. The man pointed at the figure. "It might look small to some people. Here, it was impossible." "The land is not empty," one of the elders said. "Our houses are here. Our fathers are buried here. Where do you want us to go?" The man adjusted his tie. "I just do my work," he said. "There will be compensation. Our client wants to develop the place. Mining, jobs, progress." "Progress that starts by pushing us out," Ruth said, anger shaking in her voice. "I am not the one to argue with," the man replied. "You have 30 days. After that it is out of my hands. Good afternoon." He went back into the car and drove away, dust covering everything for a moment. Silence followed, then noise. 30 days? Where will we see that kind of money? Maybe this is time to move out. Move to where? Ruth stood like a stone. Nathan's head was spinning. Reed Holdings. His company. His father's signature was probably somewhere deep in those old documents. The land Marcus had been calling useless was this same land under his feet. His chest felt tight. Ruth's eyes filled. She looked at the paper again, as if the numbers might change. Then she folded it carefully. "We will not leave," she said. "If we must pay, we will pay. If we must fight, we will fight. This is our home." People murmured, some agreeing, some shaking their heads. Nathan walked slowly to the back of the compound. His mind was loud. This is my fault, he thought. My company, my delay, my carelessness, my greed. He went to the only place in the yard where network bars sometimes appeared on his cheap phone, a small rise near the mango tree. He took a deep breath and called Tunde. Tunde picked fast. "Nate," he said, "how is village life?" "I am in aura," Nathan said, his voice low and hard. "And we have a problem. A big one." He explained about the bank, the notice, the villagers, and the deadline. Tunde listened. "This must be one of those old loan arrangements," Tunde said. "Your father did plenty in those days. Marcus has been pressing to move on them for mining." "I don't care how old it is," Nathan snapped. "We are not taking this land. Not like this. Not from these people. Tunde, I need you to do something for me." "Tell me," Tunde said at once. "I want Reed Holdings, through our charity arm, to buy that debt fully from the bank," Nathan said. "Move it quietly under the foundation. Once we own it, I want 90% of it wiped. The remaining 10% we spread over 3 years, small payment, something they can manage. No land taken, no relocation. And my name must not show in any paper, not as Nathan, not as CEO. Nothing." Tunde whistled softly. You know that is a lot of money, he said. We spend more than that on one weekend event, Nathan replied. We waste that on branding nonsense. I won't stand here and watch a whole village be thrown away for numbers on a spreadsheet. There was a pause. Okay, Tunda said quietly. I will talk to Lawal. We will move it under CSR. We will pitch it as Rural Stabilization Project to the board. They will like the PR. Marcus will not like losing his mining toy, but he will survive. Send me the exact file number and bank name by text. Nathan read the details from the notice he had copied. Give me 48 hours, Tunde said. You have 24, Nathan replied. If they move fast here, we must move faster. Tunde laughed softly. I see Bush is giving you boldness, he said. Okay, I will try. Nathan ended the call. He turned to go back and nearly ran into someone. Ruth's cousin Stella stood a few meters away, half hidden by shadows. He had not noticed her there. She looked at him with eyes that were too sharp. How long have you been standing there? He asked. She tilted her head. Long enough, she said. He felt cold. But she just turned and walked away, the small gold earring in her ear catching the light. 2 days later, the white bank car returned. Everyone gathered under the mango tree with tight faces and held their breath. The same man came down, carrying his file. Mr. Adeyemi, he called. Mr. Kola Adeyemi? I am here, Parkola answered. The man cleared his throat. There has been a change, he said. Your loan file has been purchased by another party. New instructions. Most of the debt has been forgiven. The balance left is small. You can pay it over 3 years in small installments. As long as you pay, no land will be taken. This is the new agreement. He handed over new papers. Silence. Then shouting. People grabbed the paper, passing it around, reading again and again, afraid it would vanish. Forgiven? 3 years? No land taken? Parkola's eyes filled with tears. He put a hand on the trunk of the mango tree to steady himself. Who did this? Ruth asked, voice shaking. Our head office said it was a foundation connected to Reed Holdings, the man replied. Some rural project. That is all I know. We just follow the order. He did not know that the order came from a man standing not far away, dressed like a simple laborer. When the man left, joy covered the compound like water. Some people shouted praise to God. Some people hugged. Some people just sat down suddenly, their legs weak from relief. Ruth turned slowly and looked at Nathan. Her eyes stayed on him longer than on anyone else. God used somebody, she whispered. May he bless whoever it is. Nathan swallowed. Amen, he said softly. Parkola came to him and held his shoulder. You came to my house with empty hands, the old man said, voice thick. You have not brought big things, but since you came, things have been changing. The land is waking up. Now this miracle, I don't know how, but I feel your coming is not by mistake. Nathan's throat closed. He could not speak. He just nodded. After that day, the air in Aura changed. Fear did not disappear fully, but it reduced. People walked with lighter steps. Songs came back to lips. Farm work remained hard. The sun did not suddenly become soft. Goats still misbehaved. But there was hope. Nathan kept working. Ruth's eyes on him were different now. She did not only see stranger or city boy. She saw her partner. Sometimes, when he carried a heavy load or made a joke at his own expense, she smiled without hiding it. One evening, she found him sitting alone under the mango tree, rubbing his shoulder. You will break your back trying to impress my father, she said, sitting beside him. I think your father's land is the one trying to break me, he replied, smiling. She laughed. It was a small, surprised laugh, as if she did not smile often. You are improving, she said. Before you held a hoe like a microphone. Now you hold it like a tool. That is the best compliment I have received this year, he said. She looked at him properly. You are different from other men that pass through here, she said. Most of them, their mouth is big but their hand are small. Your hand is learning. He looked at his palms. Blisters had turned to thick skin. My hands were soft for too long, he said. Maybe they are finally catching up with my age. She leaned back against the tree and stared at the sky. I used to think village life was punishment, she admitted. Sometimes I still do. But since that bank man came and went, I have been thinking of something. What? He asked. That maybe we are not forgotten, she said. That maybe God still remembers our small corner. That maybe we have more than we think we have. He turned to look at her. You have a lot, he said. You have your father. You have this land. You have strength. You have heart. She shook her head slightly. Heart does not cook food, she said. Heart does not pay hospital bill. Maybe not, he replied. But the heart makes those who have food remember to share. Heart makes those who have money remember they are still human. She was quiet for a moment. Then she asked, very softly, And you, John? What do you have? The question surprised him. He thought of his penthouse, his cars, his company. He thought of the night on the balcony when he whispered his wish. I have money, he said slowly. I have a company. I have people who greet me and bow, but most days I feel like I have nothing. She watched him. He continued, Here. I have pain in my back, blisters on my hand, sweat on my face. But when I sit under this tree and hear my name from your father's mouth, when I hear you call me John like I am not one big title, I feel like I have something real. Her eyes were soft now. You talk like a Tory in a book, she said, but there was no mockery in it. He smiled a little. I am not a story, he replied. I am just a man trying not to drown. They sat in silence. The evening breeze moved the leaves above them. Children shouted somewhere far. From inside the house, they could hear Pa Cola coughing, then humming a small old song. Ruth wrapped her arms around her knees. Do you still want to see the river? She asked. Yes, he said at once. Tomorrow evening, she said. After work. The next day was long and hot, but his mind stayed on her promise. As the sun started to go down, she called him. Let's go before Papa starts shouting that we are wasting light, she said. They followed a narrow path behind the farms. Tall grasses brushed their legs. Birds flew up and away as they walked. After some minutes, the trees opened. There it was, the river. It was not huge, but it was wide enough to move with quiet power. It curved, just like Amelia had drawn, disappearing behind bushes and coming back again like a question mark. The water was brown-green, carrying leaves and small sticks. The air there was cooler. I used to come here when Mama was sick, Ruth said, when I wanted to cry but did not want Papa to see. Sometimes I shouted into the water. Sometimes I just sat. She went down the small slope and sat on a rock close to the edge. He sat beside her. For a while, no one talked. They just listened to the soft sound of the water. The river does not rush, she said at last. Everything around it changes with the season. Sunny time, rain time, sometimes flood, sometimes dry ground. But the river always finds a way to move. Nathan watched the water and thought of his own life. He had been rushing, meeting to meeting, deal to deal, money to money. He had thought that was the only way to survive. But here, time felt different. Slow, strong. Ruth, he said quietly, do you ever wish you had left this place? She smiled sadly. Almost every day, she said. Sometimes I imagine myself in a city, big job, fine clothes, light that does not go off. But then I look at Papa. I look at these trees. I look at the small marks my hands have left on this land, and I ask myself, if I go, who will stand here when they bring another paper to push us away? He turned to her. You are brave, he said. I'm just tired of being pushed, she replied. She looked at him. And you? Do you ever wish you had stayed where you came from? He thought of his penthouse, his big office, his boardroom. He thought of an empty wine glass on a glass table. He shook his head. If I stayed, I would be rich and dead inside, he said. Here I am broken alive. She laughed, a short, surprised sound. You are not broke, she said.
You ate 2 extra pieces of meat yesterday. He grinned. That makes me rich, he said. Her laughter faded into a quiet smile. Her eyes searched his face, as if she was trying to read something written on his skin. He felt something heavy and soft rise in his chest. Ruth, he said, his voice lower. I did not plan to say this today. I did not even plan to feel it. But this place, you, have changed me. She swallowed. He could see her heartbeat in the small pulse on her neck. When I came here, he continued, I wanted to hide. I wanted to rest. I did not want a connection. I did not want anybody to know my heart. But every day, working beside you, watching you fight for this land, watching the way you care for your father, something started to grow in me. He looked at the river, then at her. It is not small, he said. It is not passing. It is love. The word hung in the air between them. Her lips parted. She stared at him. Say it again, she whispered. I love you, he said. I love you, Ruth. I love your strength. I love your stubbornness. I love the way you talk to goats like they are human. I love the way this village sits differently in your heart. Being here with you has shown me a version of myself I thought was lost. Tears gathered in her eyes. She looked away, then back at him again, as if she was not sure he was real. Nobody has ever said they love me like this before, she said. Most men just say, you are hardworking. You will make a good wife. They talk like they are buying hoe. He reached for her hand. Her fingers were rough. He held them gently. I am not buying, he said. I am begging. She laughed through her tears. I told myself not to love you, she said softly. You came from nowhere. You will go one day. I didn't want that pain, but... She took a shaky breath. My heart did not listen. She squeezed his hand. I love you too, John, she said. And that one scares me more than any bank letter. His vision blurred. He wanted to pull her into his arms, but he moved slowly, giving her time to pull away. She didn't. He held her. The river moved beside them. The sky went from gold to soft purple. For a moment, everything felt right. He forgot his last name. He forgot his company. He forgot that his hands had once signed papers that almost destroyed this place. In that small corner of the evening, he was just a man in love with a woman by a river. They walked back to the house in comfortable silence. Sometimes their shoulders brushed. Sometimes their hands found each other again and held on. At the edge of the compound, Ruth stopped. Don't tell Papa yet, she said. He will start planning the wedding before we even finish one fight. Nathan smiled. Okay, he said. We will keep it small for now, between us and the river. She smiled back. Sleep well, she said. You too, he replied. He watched her walk into the house. His heart was full and afraid at the same time. Behind one of the small buildings half hidden by shadow, Stella watched everything. Her eyes were hard. Her jaw was tight. Her fingers pressed a folded paper into her palm. On that paper was a printed picture of a man in a suit shaking hands at a business meeting. The name under the picture said, Nathan Reed, CEO, Reed Holdings. The face in the picture was the same as the face that just told her cousin, I love you. The same small scar near the eyebrow, the same eyes, the same man. He was not John from Lagos. He was a billionaire. He was the head of the same company whose name had been on the paper that almost took their land. Her anger boiled. Her mind started to plan. Stella did not sleep well that night. She lay on the thin mattress, eyes open, listening to the crickets. The picture she had printed in town lay under her pillow. She brought it out again. The man in the newspaper wore a dark suit. He was shaking hands with a foreign man. There was a big hotel behind them. The name under the picture was clear. Nathan Reed, CEO, Reed Holdings. Stella traced the small scar near his eyebrow with her finger.
It was the same scar on John's face, same jaw, same eyes, same man. He had come into their compound with a small bag and soft hands, saying he was just looking for farm work. He had worked hard, yes. He had helped, yes. He had even pulled a miracle from nowhere and saved their land. But he was still a liar, a billionaire liar. Anger burned in her chest. Part of her anger was for Ruth. Part of it was older. Stella had spent time in the city before. She had worked in a small shop for one woman in Oiwelegba. Men in big cars came to buy drinks and stand in the shade. Many of them looked at her like she was nothing. Some made offers. Some tried to touch. To them, girls like her were dust. Now this one had sneaked into their village, into her family, into Ruth's heart. She closed her eyes. Why should Ruth, who never even left this place, be the one to catch a billionaire? She thought bitterly. What of me, that has seen the city, that knows how to talk, that knows how to walk in heels? Jealousy bit her. She pushed it down and sat up. If he wants to play games, she told herself, I too can play. The next morning, Stella watched him. He carried water. He fed goats. He went to the farm with Papa Cola and Ruth. He laughed with them. He worked with them. If she had not seen the paper, she would never have believed he had ever entered an office. In the afternoon, as he washed his hands by the outside tap, she walked over. John, she said sweetly. He looked up. Stella, good afternoon. She leaned on the wall and crossed her arms. You work well, she said, for somebody who used to hold a pen. He froze for a second, then forced a smile. What makes you think I only held a pen before? He asked. The way you stand when you are tired, she said. The way you sometimes look at the horizon like you are counting numbers. The way the big men in the car talked to you that day at the junction. You think I did not notice? He dried his hands slowly. Have you told Ruth any of this? He asked. Not yet, she said. Because I am not sure if I should tell her. Or tell you first. Their eyes met. Her gaze did not shake. He swallowed. His heart beat faster. What do you want to tell me? He asked quietly. She brought out the folded paper, opened it slowly, held it up. The picture faced him. The name stared back at him. He went pale. For a long moment there was no sound. Only birds somewhere far away. Stella lowered the paper. So, she said softly, will we continue to call you John? His mouth felt dry. Where did you get that? He whispered. In town, she said. There is a small reading center. They keep old newspapers. I knew I had seen your face before. I just needed time. Yesterday I found this one. Now everything makes sense. He closed his eyes for a second. He had always known this day might come. He just did not know it would be her. I can explain, he said. She laughed once, short and sharp. Explain what? She asked. That you are not a simple laborer. You are a rich man playing poor. That you are the head of the same company that almost took our land? Pain flashed across his face. I did not know about Aura before I came, he said. I swear, when I found out I stopped it. I used my position to save this place. I know, she said. I was there when the bank man came back. I heard you on the phone that day near the mango tree. So you know I am not here to harm you, he said quickly. I am trying to make things right. She stepped closer. That is why I have not shouted yet, she said. I sat down and thought. I told myself, Stella, maybe this can be blessing. Maybe this can open door for you too. He frowned. What do you mean? Her eyes were clear. You have power, she said. You have money. You have company. You can change life with one call. Help me. Take me out of here. Give me good job in city. Help me start salon, shop, anything that will make me stand well. In return, I will keep quiet. I will not tell Ruth. I will not tell Papa. I will let your love story continue. He stared at her. Hurt and disappointment mixed in his chest. Stella, he began. She lifted her chin. Don't say no too fast, she said. Think small. I am not asking for your love. I am asking for chance. You have many chances already. He rubbed his face. He understood her hunger. He knew the city had not been kind to her. But something in him pulled back. If I help you, he said slowly, I want it to be because it is right, not because you are holding knife to my neck. And if I tell them, she asked quietly, if I walk inside now and say, Ruth, your John is not John. He is Nathan Reed. He lied. He is the same man whose company almost buried us. He's been playing poor man while your heart was opening. What will you do then? The picture of Ruth by the river flashed in his mind, her hand in his, her voice saying, I love you too, and that one scares me more than any bank letter. His stomach twisted. He forced himself to stand straight. You can tell them, he said at last. His voice shook, but he did not hide it. I will not stop you. It is your choice. Shock crossed her face. You will just allow me? She asked. Like that? He nodded. I made this mess, he said. I should have told Ruth the truth. I should have told your uncle. I was afraid. I did not want to lose what I found here. So I ran, I hid, I lied. If pain will come, it should come from truth, not from more lies. She searched his eyes, looking for bluff. She did not find any. You are foolish, she said. Maybe, he answered. But I will not buy your silence with secret favor. If I help you tomorrow, it will be open and clean, not hidden. I will not turn love into trade. She folded the paper again, fingers tight. You will regret this, she said. She turned and walked away. He stood there for a long time, mind heavy. Then he went back to work. He decided one thing. If Ruth would hear the truth, it would not be from Stella's mouth alone. He would speak, with his own mouth. No more running. The chance came faster than he expected. A few days later, the village decided to hold small Thanksgiving. Nothing big, just prayers under the mango tree. Some boiled yam, some dance. They wanted to thank God that the land was safe. They wanted to thank whoever the unknown helper was. They also wanted to remind themselves that they were still one family. Men brought benches, women cooked. Children ran up and down with powder on their faces. Ruth wore a clean wrapper and a simple blouse. She looked tired, but bright. Nathan stood at one corner helping Parcola arrange chairs. His heart beat strong. All morning he had been telling himself, you will talk today. You will say everything. If she walks away, you will not hold her. But you will not hide again. The small pastor from the next community came. They sang. They prayed. He gave a short talk. Sometimes help comes from hand you can see, he said. Sometimes it comes from hand you cannot see. But God sees both. Whether rich man or poor man, we must remember that we are dust without him. We must do right by each other. People said, Amen. After the prayer he asked, who will speak for the village? An elder spoke first. Then Parcola. He stood slowly, back straight. My people, he said, this land has carried our footsteps for long. It has seen our tears. It has tasted our sweat. When that bankman came with paper to say they will take it, my legs almost failed me. But God did not fail us. He paused, his eyes wet. I don't know who used big money to help us, he said. But I know one thing. Since this young man came into my house. He placed his hand on Nathan's shoulder. Things started to turn. The land woke up. Hope came back. Maybe it is coincidence, maybe not. But my spirit tells me that his coming is not small. People murmured in agreement. Some clapped for John. Nathan's throat tightened. He knew it was time. He opened his mouth. Just then, a sharp voice cut through the air. I want to speak too, Stella said. She stepped forward. The pastor looked unsure but nodded. Talk, my daughter, he said. Stella stood where everyone could see her. Her wrapper was tied firm. Her eyes shone. Papa is right, she began. This land has seen plenty, good and bad. But there is one thing it has not seen before. A man that comes with two faces. The air shifted. People looked at one another. She turned slowly and pointed at Nathan. This man, she said loudly. The one we called John, the one we put in our house, the one we gave food, the one my cousin opened her heart to. He is not who he says he is. Whispers rose. Ruth's body stiffened. Nathan felt his blood run cold. He stepped forward. Stella, he said quietly. Please, let me. She raised her hand. Let me finish, she snapped. She brought out the folded paper, opened it with slow drama, held it up. Some days ago, she said, I went to town. I went into small reading place. I saw this. She walked to the center and showed the paper to the elder nearest to her. He squinted. Then his eyes opened wide. He took one step back, as if the picture burnt him. He passed it to the next person. The paper moved around like hot coal. Some people gasped, some covered their mouth. Some looked from the picture to Nathan's face, back and forth. Ruth did not move. She watched as the paper came closer. Finally it reached her. She took it with shaking hands. Her eyes went to the picture. She saw him. Suit, tie, serious face. Same scar near the eyebrow. Then her eyes went to the name. Nathan Reed, CEO, Reed Holdings. Her stomach turned. Her hand went cold. The world started to tilt. She forced herself to stand. Stella's voice floated beside her like a sting. His name is not John, Stella said. His name is Nathan Reed. He is billionaire from City. He is the head of Reed Holdings. The same Reed Holdings that was on the paper that almost killed this our village. The same Reed Holdings that was ready to dig our land for mining, push us aside and call it progress. All eyes moved to Nathan. He did not run. He did not deny. He stood there, chest rising and falling. Ruth slowly turned to him. Her eyes were full of pain and confusion. Is it true? She whispered. The sound of her voice hurt him more than any shout. He took one step forward. Yes, he said. His voice broke. It is true. The yard exploded. Voices. Questions. What? He is billionaire? He has been living with us like this? Why? Is this joke? The pastor tried to calm them, but the noise was strong. Ruth did not hear them. She only heard his yes. From the first day, she asked, louder now. From the day you came with small bag and said you are just John looking for work. You were lying? He shook his head quickly. I was running, he said. I was tired. I was empty. I wanted to be seen as man, not money. I did not plan to stay. I did not know this place would become home. I did not know I would meet you. I did not plan to lie to you to hurt you. I was afraid of losing what we found. She laughed. It was not a happy sound. So you lied because of love, she said bitterly. You lied because you care. He flinched. I saved this land, he said desperately. When I found out, I stopped the mining plan. I bought the debt through our foundation. I wiped it. I made sure nobody will remove you. I did that because I could not stand to see this place destroyed. And you think that covers the lie? She shot back. You think money will wipe away the feeling that I have been sleeping beside stranger? That I have been telling my secrets to man that was wearing mask? Her voice cracked on the last word. He reached out a hand. Ruth! She stepped back. Don't touch me, she choked. Tears ran down her face now. Tell me one thing, she said, breathing hard. When you sat by that river and told me you love me, whose name was in your heart? John or Nathan? He closed his eyes. Both, he whispered, because both are me. Then both a liar, she said. His chest felt like it was tearing. He wanted to fall on his knees. He wanted to hold her feet. He wanted to beg. But her eyes were like a closed door. Stella watched, satisfaction and something else mixing on her face. The crowd murmured. Some people cursed him quietly. Some looked hurt. Some looked unsure. Parkola stepped forward, face full of shock and pain. Is it true? He asked, voice rough. You are this, Nathan? Yes, Baba, Nathan said, tears running now. I should have told you. I am sorry. The old man's hand shook. You ate my food, he said slowly. You slept in my house. You worked my land. You sat under this tree with me. You watched me thank God for a stranger, and you did not say your real name.
I was a coward, Nathan whispered. I was afraid that once you saw the big name, you would stop seeing me as a man. I was wrong. I was proud. I am sorry. The old man's eyes shone. He turned his head away, swallowing hard. Leave, Ruth whispered. He looked at her fast. What? He asked. Leave, she said, louder this time. Go back to your city. Go back to your glass house. Go back to your fake smiles and empty life. You came here and tasted our peace. You tasted my heart, and you decided we were only safe if we stayed in your shadow. That is not love. That is control. He shook his head, panicked. No, Ruth, it is not like that. I just wanted to protect. If you wanted to protect us, she cut in, you would have stood in front of us with your real face, not hide behind a poor man's shirt. You would have told my father, I am Nathan. I can help. You did not trust us with the truth, but you wanted us to trust you with everything. That one is not fair. Her words were arrows. Each one landed. He bowed his head. You are right, he said quietly. I have no excuse. Silence fell for 1 second. Then she said the thing he feared most. I don't know you, she whispered. And I don't want to know you again. The world blurred. He opened his mouth, but no sound came. He watched her turn away, walk into the house. The door closed behind her. The sound was small, but it felt final. By evening he had packed his small bag. He did not take long. He did not have much. The same boots, the same jeans, the same shirts he had brought. He stood under the mango tree one last time. The compound was quiet now. Children had been pulled inside. Women watched from half-open doors. Men sat far and talked in low tones. Pacola sat on his stool, staring at the ground. Nathan walked to him. Baba, he said softly. The old man did not look up. Are you happy now? He asked. You wanted to be ordinary. See the one you have caused. I am not happy, Nathan said. I am ashamed. He knelt. He put his forehead to the ground. I cannot change what I did, he said. All I can say is thank you for all you gave me, and I am sorry for all the pain I brought. Parcola's jaw clenched. He lifted his hand. For a moment, Nathan thought the hand would fall on his head in blessing or in slap. It did not fall. The old man just dropped it back on his knee. Go, he said tiredly, before my anger grows longer than my years. Nathan stood, eyes full. He looked once at the house, at the door that did not open. He turned and walked away. As he reached the end of the small road, a car came from the main path. It was Tunde's car. Dust followed it. The car stopped in front of him. The door opened. Tunde stepped out wearing jeans and a plain shirt. He looked at Nathan's face and did not need to ask question. You told her, he said quietly. She knows, Nathan replied. His voice was barely there. She never wants to see me again. Tunde's eyes were kind. I am sorry, he said. Nathan nodded, swallowed, tried to speak, failed. Tunde took the bag from his hand and put it in the car. Come, he said, let's go. Nathan looked back one last time. He saw the mango tree. He saw the small house. He saw shadows behind a curtain. He did not know which shadow was hers. Then he got in the car. Tunde drove. The village disappeared behind red dust. Back in Lagos, the penthouse felt worse than before. The glass walls were still there. The city still shined. But now, the light only reminded him of what he had left behind. He moved through the rooms like ghost. He sat on the couch where he had once stared at nothing. He now stared at memories. Ruth laughing as goats pulled the rope out of his hand. Ruth's face when he first carried the bucket without spilling water. Ruth by the river, eyes soft, saying, I love you too, and that one scares me more than any bank letter. He saw all of it. Then he saw her face after the truth. Tight, broken, her voice was calling him a liar. He covered his face with both hands. He did not count how long he stayed like that. Days moved. He did not move with them. He did not go to the office. He did not answer most calls. He only answered Tunde,
and sometimes Amelia. One evening, they both came. Amelia carried a small cooler. She opened it and brought out a plate. "You have not been eating," she said. "See your face. Eat the stew before I pour it on your head." He gave a small, weak smile. "I don't feel like eating," he said. "Feel or not, your body needs food," she replied. "Your heart can cry later." He ate slowly. The pepper woke his tongue. The warm swallow went down his dry throat. He did not realize how hungry he was till he finished one plate. Tunde sat watching him. When he dropped the spoon, Tunde spoke. "The board is restless," he said. "Marcus is shouting up and down about Aura. He wants to push mining again. He is using your absence as an excuse, saying you are not focused." Nathan's jaw tightened. "Let him talk," he said tiredly. "I don't care about him." "You may not care about him," Tunde replied, "but you should care what happens to Aura. You stopped one move. They can try another one from the back. We froze that project using the foundation this time. Next time, they may go through a government back door. You know how these things work." Nathan closed his eyes. He saw the faces under the mango tree again. He saw the fear when the bank car first came.
He could not let that happen again. "Call board meeting," he said quietly. "I will be there." Amelia looked at him. "And what about Ruth?" she asked gently. His face softened and broke again. "I don't know," he said. "She hates me." "She does not hate you," Amelia replied. "If she hated you, her eyes would have been dry that day. She is hurt. Deep hurt can look like hate. But they are not the same." "Maybe," he whispered. "But I do not have the right to ask her for anything again." "Maybe not now," she said softly. "But you have a duty to do one thing. You have a duty to use your power to protect that place with or without her love. You owe them that much." He nodded slowly. "Okay," he said. "I will start there." The next week he stepped into the boardroom again. The men in suits were all there. Marcus was talking when he entered. "Cannot let one emotional decision in one tiny village stop a project that will bring billions." He broke off when he saw Nathan. There was a small hush. "Nathan," the chairman said. "Good to see you. We were worried." Nathan took his seat at the head of the table. He looked older than before, but his eyes were clearer. "Let us talk about Aura," he said. Marcus smirked. "Yes," he said, "let us talk. We have sat on that land for years. Now we have a partner ready. Why waste time? We can move the people to a planned site, give them small houses, a school, clinic. They will be fine. Mining will bring jobs. Everybody wins. Except the people who lose their home," Nathan said quietly. Marcus waved a hand. "Nathan, we are businessmen," he said, "not charity workers. You are letting that village cloud your head. There are many villages. We cannot carry all on our backs." Nathan's jaw tensed. He thought of Ruth at the river. He thought of Parcola's hand on his shoulder. He thought of the bankman calling their home collateral. He took a breath. "This company will not stand on stolen ground," he said. The room went still. Marcus blinked. "What?" "You heard me," Nathan said. "We will not make a profit by crushing the people sitting on the land under us. That time is over. Aura is not moving, not now, not later. We will never mine there. In fact," he tapped the table, "I want all old rural land deals reviewed. Anyone who was signed in a way that mistreated people, we correct it. Use our foundation. Use direct company funds. I don't care. But Reed Holdings must stop being the name villagers whisper in fear when they see a white car." Some board members shifted. One cleared his throat. "Nathan, this is a big move," he said. "Shareholders." "I am majority shareholder," Nathan said. "And if they ask why profit is slightly lower next year, we will show them that we bought peace. We will show them we saved villages instead of burning them. Some of them will even clap. People are tired of companies that only take." Marcus laughed, a short, bitter sound. "Listen to yourself," he said. "You sound like activist. Since you went to that village, you have changed." Nathan turned to him. "Yes," he said simply. "I have changed." He thought of his father's words. "Money with peace is blessing. Money without peace is punishment." He looked around the table.
When my father started this company, he said, he always told me, let your money have peace inside it. Somewhere along the way we forgot. We started to see land as lines on map, not as people's home. I will not let his name turn into curse. If that makes me weak in your eyes, so be it. Silence. Then one of the older directors spoke. I never liked the way that mining deal was arranged, he said slowly. Too many shortcuts. I support this review. Another nodded. Me too, he said. It is time we clean old things. If we do it well, the market will respect us. Lawal spoke next. We can also turn it to advantage, he said. New brand story. Reed Holdings as company that repairs, not just builds. Investors like sustainability now. People like companies that show heart. We can make money and still sleep at night. Eyes turned back to Marcus. He saw he was losing ground. His jaw clenched. We will see how far this your new holy style will go, he muttered. Nathan did not answer. The decision was made. News moved fast. Within weeks, Reed Holdings announced a new program. They called it Root and Home. The statement said, we are reviewing all old rural land deals. Any agreement that put communities at risk without proper care will be corrected. We will partner with villages to build schools, clinics, and better farms instead of only factories. We believe development must stand beside dignity, not on top of it. Some people online mocked them. Some called it PR. Some praised it. In one small corner of the country, a worn copy of a newspaper reached Aura. It came in the hand of the same bank man, now almost friendly. He showed it to the elders. They read. They saw the name Reed Holdings. They saw the words correct old deals. They saw dignity. They saw villages. They saw it was not only Aura that was safe now. Other places too. Stella watched as people talked. She felt something heavy in her chest. She had wanted to show him as monster. But this did not look like monster act. It looked like man trying to fix broken things. Ruth sat on the bench outside, the newspaper on her lap. Her fingers traced one line again and again. We believe development must stand beside dignity, not on top of it. She remembered his voice by the river. Here, I am broke and alive. She remembered his face under the mango tree when she told him to leave. He had not defended himself much. He had only said, you are right. He had left, but he had not turned his back on them in the boardroom. He could have said, I tried, they forced me. He had not. He had stood with his full name in a room of powerful men and protected a village that had thrown him out. Tears stung her eyes. Her father came and sat beside her. He held his walking stick. Your face has not been dry for days, he said. She gave a small, sad smile. You are counting my tears now, she asked. I am counting the way you stare at the same place in sky, he answered. She looked down at the paper. Do you hate him? She asked. Truly? Parkola was quiet for a long moment. Then he sighed. I hate what he did with his name, he said. I hate that he did not trust us with truth. I hate that he let you build your love on mask, but I cannot say I hate him fully. Why? She whispered. Because my land was saved by his hand, he said. Because he bent his back beside mine. Because when he could have used his power to carry us away, he used it to keep us here. A man can do evil with his power. He chose to do good even after we sent him away. She wiped her eyes. What if he comes back? She asked softly. Will you chase him again? He asked. She closed her eyes. Images rushed. His smile in the field. His hands, rough now like hers. His voice, shaking under the mango tree when he said, I have no excuse. I don't know, she whispered. I am still angry. But my anger is sitting in the same room as my love. They are both looking at each other. Her father smiled sadly. That is how marriage fights look, he said. Love and anger sitting in same room. The question is always, who will stand up and walk out first? She laughed weakly. I am not yet married, she said. Maybe not with ring, he replied, but your heart has already signed something. That is why it hurts this much. She looked at him. What should I do? She asked. He patted her hand. Nothing, he said. Wait. If he is coward, he will hide in his glass house and say, "They hate me there." Then you will know his love was not strong. But if he is man, he will come back, not hiding, not pretending, and stand here with his real face. Then you will know whether to forgive or not. And if he never comes? She asked. Then you still have your land, your father, your God, he said. Your life will not end. But I think he will come. How are you sure? She asked again. The old man looked at the river in the distance. I saw his eyes, he said. They looked like man who finally found where his soul lives. Back in Lagos, Nathan continued to work. He was in the office more now, not because he loved boardroom, because he had purpose. He visited some rural areas himself. Not disguised. He went with small team, sat on wooden benches, listened to complaints. He did not try to play hero. He took notes. He gave promises that he could keep and refused those he could not. Slowly, Reed Holdings started to change. They built a small clinic in one village whose land they had once almost taken. They repaired a broken bridge in another. They funded training for young people who wanted to learn new skills. Some people trusted them. Some did not. That was fine. Trust takes time. At night, he still stood on his balcony. He still looked at the city lights, but his heart did not feel as empty. It felt split, half in Lagos, half in Ora. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw the river. One night, Amelia and Tunde came again. They sat with him on the balcony. So, Amelia said, you have saved half Nigeria. When will you save yourself? He smiled sadly. I am already trying, he said. Work is the only thing that makes sense right now. Work is good, she said, but you are using it to hide. He looked at her. I went there, he said softly. I lied. I broke her trust. I tore something sacred. What if my going back only tears it more? Tunde leaned on the rail. And what if your staying here tears both of you forever? He asked. Nate, you fixed the land, but you did not fix the biggest damage. You left that one hanging in the air. Nathan's throat tightened. I don't know what to say to her, he admitted. What new thing will I say? Say old things with clean heart, Amelia said. Say the truth from beginning to end. No hiding, no twisting. Not to win her, just to free the two of you. If she forgives, good. If she does not, at least your love story will not end with lying mouth. It will end with honest one. Her words went deep. He thought again of his father. Money with peace is blessing. Money without peace is punishment. He had started to find peace in his work. But his love was still under punishment. He straightened. When is next free day? He asked. Tunde and Amelia looked at each other. Tomorrow, Tunde said slowly. We can shift some meetings. Nathan nodded. Then tomorrow, he said. I am going back to Ora. He did not go with disguise this time. No old SUV, no fake name. He used one city car, not too flashy but not hidden. He told driver to stop at the small sign. Welcome to Ora. He stepped out and told the driver to wait at the beginning of the village. He walked the rest of the way. The red dust rose under his shoes. People saw him and stopped. Some recognized his face from the newspaper now. Some recognized him as John. Some whispered. Children pointed. See, that is the man, one muttered. He is rich, another added. He made our land safe, another said. He lied, someone answered. The words floated around him like flies. He kept walking. His heart beat so loud he could hear it in his ears. He reached the familiar compound. The mango tree was still there. Goats moved in the shade. The house looked the same and different at once. He stopped at the gate. His legs wanted to turn back. He forced them to stay. He called. Baba Cola? The old man came out slowly, leaning on his stick. He squinted. When he saw Nathan, his face did not show clear anger. It showed tired surprise. You came back, he said. Yes, sir, Nathan replied. I said I would not, but my heart refused to stay in Lagos. The old man stared for a few seconds. Then he turned his head and shouted, Ruth, we have visitor. Nathan's chest tightened. He heard her steps inside. Then she came out. She wore simple wrapper and old t-shirt.
Her hair was tied back. When her eyes met his, the whole world disappeared for him. Her face went still. Her hands gripped the doorframe.
"Nathan," she said. The name felt strange and right at the same time from her mouth. "Ruth," he answered. They stood like that, looking at each other. The air was thick. Finally, Parkola sighed. "I will sit under the tree," he said. "If any of you want old man's ear, it is there. If not, I will pretend I cannot hear lovers quarrel." He moved away and sat on his stool, not too close, not too far. Nathan stepped inside the compound slowly. He stopped in front of Ruth. "Thank you for not running inside," he said quietly. "I almost did," she answered. "But my father's legs are not fast. He would not chase you for me this time." There was a small shadow of smile in her eyes, but it was sad. He took a breath. "I came to say everything I should have said before," he began. "Not to force your heart, just to give you full truth." She folded her arms. "I am listening," she said. His throat felt tight. He still spoke. "The first night this started," he said, "I was standing on a balcony in Lagos. Glass walls, city lights. My life looked perfect. Inside, I was dying. I had just gone on another date where the woman asked for millions before the food even came. I came home and asked myself, is this all?" He told her about his father's words on the hospital bed. Money with peace is blessing. Money without peace is punishment. He told her how he looked down from his balcony and saw an ordinary couple on the street, laughing and sharing earphone, and felt jealous. He told her how he whispered, "I just want one person that will love me if I had nothing." He told her about the board meeting, Marcus, and the line on the slide that said Aura lands. He told her about dinner at Tunde's house, about Emilia talking about her village and their small bucket garden. He told her about opening his wardrobe, pushing aside suits and finding old jeans and t-shirt. He told her about writing in his notebook, "Leave Lagos. Go to Aura. Work with my hands. Find who I am. Maybe find love that is not for money." He told her about driving down, seeing the sign, parking at the shop, the old woman sending him to this house. He told her about first blow of hoe, the pain in his soft hands, the laughter of her father. He told her about watching her carry water, serve food, fight for land. He told her about the bank man and the notice. He told her about calling Tunde, buying the debt, wiping it. He told her about the river, about her saying she loved him too. As he spoke, his voice shook. Sometimes he had to stop and swallow. Sometimes he wiped his eyes. He did not leave any part out. He did not try to polish his wrong. He did not say but. He did not say at least. He just laid everything bare. "I was selfish," he said finally. "I wanted to know love as normal, man, but I also wanted to keep my power in my back pocket in case something bad happened. I wanted to be small and big at the same time. That is why I hid my name. That is why I did not tell you. I was afraid that once you knew, you would stop seeing me. I was wrong. I hurt you deeply. I broke something holy. I am sorry, Ruth. Not the small sorry people say to end fight. The big one that knows it may not be forgiven." She had not spoken the whole time. Her face had gone through many feelings. Shock, sadness, anger. Now it was just wet. She wiped tears quickly with the back of her hand, angry at them. He continued, softer now. "After I left," he said, "I could have chosen to say, they didn't want me, so let the land suffer. I did not. I went back to the board. I stopped the mining forever. I changed company policy. I made sure Aura and other villages will be safe, whether you ever forgive me or not. I did it because it was right, not because I hoped you would hear and clap." He took a small folded paper from his pocket. He held it out. "This is copy of new document," he said. "It says Reed Holdings has released all claim on this land. Full. The land title will move to the community cooperative. Your people will own it properly, not as loan collateral, not as a favor. We will still help with seed, training, maybe a small processing center later, but the land will be yours. Nobody will come with paper again." She did not take it at first. He lowered his hand. "Even if you tell me now to leave and never come back," he said, voice barely there, This paper will still stand. The clinic we plan will still stand. The school we plan will still stand. I am not paying for your love with projects. I am just trying to obey my father's words at last. I want my money to have peace, even if my heart remains under punishment. Silence sat with them. She looked at him for a long time. Then she asked a small, sharp question. Why did you come back yourself? She said. You could have sent a lawyer. You could have sent people. Why bring your own body here again? He looked at her. Because my love is not email, he said simply. It is not something I can forward from the office. It is something I carry in my chest. It brought me here. It may take me away empty, but at least I will go knowing I did not hide from you again. Her breath hitched. Her anger and her love were still sitting in the same room. She felt both. She thought of the day she first saw him by the well. She thought of their first real fight. She thought of how hard he worked to learn the land. She thought of his face when he knelt before her father. She thought of the same face in the newspaper, not smiling, not showing off, just shaking hands. She thought of the new article, where he stood in front of the board and said, "We will not make a profit by crushing people." Words can lie. Actions are harder. What do you want from me? She asked finally, voice low. He shook his head. I want nothing I can take by force, he said. I only wish, if there is space, that we can start again, not as John and a girl from the village, as Nathan and Ruth, rich man and farmer's daughter, two people who know each other's worst side and still decide to sit under the same tree. Tears ran down her cheeks again. I don't know how to trust you, she said. Even now, part of me is waiting to hear a new lie. I don't know how to make you trust, he replied. Trust is not something I can buy. It is seed. I killed the first one. I can only offer you a new one and water it slowly if you let me. She looked at the paper in his hand, then at his face, then at her father. Parcola's eyes were shining. Love, he said quietly from under the tree, is not blind. It sees Scar and still sits close. The question is, do you want his Scar inside your house or outside? Ruth gave a small laugh through tears. Papa, you and your proverb, she said. I am old, he replied. That is my own work now. She wiped her face again. She took the paper from Nathan's hand at last. Her fingers brushed his. A small fire ran up both their arms. She looked down at the words. Land release. Cooperative. No further claim. She folded it carefully and put it on the small stool near the door. Then she took a step toward him. Nathan Reed, she said slowly, tasting the full name. I am still angry with you. He nodded, eyes wet. You have the right to be, he said. I don't know how long this anger will stay, she continued. Maybe 1 month, maybe 1 year. Maybe it will wake up sometimes inside marriage and fight with us on the bed. His heart jumped at that last word. Marriage, he whispered. Wait, she said quickly, lifting a finger. I am not saying yes yet. I am thinking out loud. He gave a small, shaky smile. Okay, he said. I will stand here and listen to your thinking. She took another breath. Then she said the thing that surprised even herself. But I know one thing, she said. When you left, my anger did not leave. My hurt did not leave. But my love did not leave either. It stayed. It sat beside the hurt and refused to pack out. That is why it pains this much. She stepped closer. Now they were very near. His heart beat fast. He did not reach out. He waited. I don't know how to trust you fully today, she said. But I know I don't want to spend the rest of my life pretending I don't love you. So we will try, slowly. You will not rush me. You will not hide anything again. You will bring all your titles, all your fears, all your money, all your weaknesses, put it on the table. I will bring my stubbornness, my anger, my own fear. We will see if our two hearts can stay in the same room without one running away. Tears rolled down his face. Are you forgiving me? He asked. She gave a half smile, half sob. I am starting, she said. It will not happen in one day. You broke a big thing. We will repair it small, but yes, I am not closing the door. He could not hold back any more. Can I, he began, pointing to her, hug you? She rolled her eyes through tears. You have mouth, she said. You already asked. He opened his arms. She stepped into them. He held her like something precious. Not too tight, not too loose. Her head rested on his chest. She could hear how fast his heart was beating. Her own heart did the same. Under the mango tree, Pacola wiped his eyes with the back of his hand and muttered, Old man cannot be crying like this. People will think I am weak. Behind the small house, Stella watched. Her chest was tight. She had wanted him to choose her. He had not. She had wanted him to be devil. He was not. She had wanted Ruth to stay on one level with her. Now Ruth was walking into a strange new life. For a moment, jealousy rose again. Then she saw something else. She saw how Ruth held him, not like trophy, but like partner. She saw his face, not like king, but like servant. And for the first time, she felt more sad for herself than angry at them. She turned away and walked to the small path that led to the river. Maybe she too needed water to carry some noise out of her. Time moved, not too fast, not too slow. Nathan did not rush Ruth to marry. He came and went from Aura openly now. Sometimes he stayed 2 days, sometimes 1 week. He always came as Nathan Reed, not as John. He sat with elders, explained plans. He did not promise heaven. He promised a borehole and built it. He promised a small health clinic with 1 nurse and opened it. He promised farm training with better seeds and tools and started it. He made sure all papers were clean and clear. He signed the land over to the community cooperative as he had said. He set up a small unit of Reed Holdings called Reed Green Farms. The idea was simple. Support villages like Aura to grow better crops, buy from them at fair price, help them package and sell to city supermarkets. Not as charity, as fair trade. He put Ruth on the local committee. She still farmed with her father. But now, she also sat in small meetings, sometimes with tablet Tunde gave her, learning numbers slowly. She struggled with some terms. She did not struggle with sense. Some evenings they still went to the river. They sat on the same rock. Sometimes they talked about deep things. Sometimes they talked about goats. Sometimes they just let the water speak. Trust returned like dry season rivers slowly filling. Rain 1 day, dry 2 days, but it came back. Stella surprised everyone when she decided to leave Aura some months later. She did not leave in anger. She came to Ruth one afternoon. I'm going to city, she said. I found small program from government that trains people in catering. I want to try. I'm tired of only gossiping here. Ruth hugged her. I wish you told me earlier, she said. We could have helped. Stella smiled, a bit shy. Nathan already spoke to me, she said quietly. He said he will support the training. But this time, it was not secret. He told me and told you and Papa at the same time. He said he does not want to do any hidden favor again. Ruth laughed softly. Yes, she said. That one is his new rule. No secret blessing. Stella's eyes went soft. Be happy, she told her cousin. Don't forget us small people when you become big, madam. Ruth shook her head. We are all small, she said. Even a billionaire is dust in front of God. They both laughed. 1 year after the big fight under the mango tree, there was another gathering there. This time it was for a wedding. Not a big city wedding, no giant hall, no 10-tier cake, just canopies. Plastic chairs, rice and stew, soft drinks in a basin of ice. People from Aura, some staff from Reed Holdings. Tunde and Amelia were there with their children. Lawal came too, curious to see the famous village he had heard about in many meetings. Nathan wore a simple white native with light embroidery. Ruth wore white lace, not too heavy, tied with a soft wrapper. She walked down the small path between chairs with her father holding her arm. Her eyes shone. Nathan's own eyes were already wet before she even reached him. The pastor spoke. He did not talk too long. He turned to them. You both have seen each other in farm clothes and in best clothes, he said. You have seen each other in truth and in lie. You have seen each other in laughter and in tears. Today, you are choosing to stay. The choice will not end today. You must choose again every day. They exchanged vows. Simple ones. I will tell you the truth, even when it is hard. I will not use your love to control you. I will stand beside you when the world is loud. I will remind you of who you are when you forget. When they were told to kiss, Nathan whispered against her forehead, "Thank you for giving a liar a second chance." She whispered back, "Thank you for turning a liar into an honest man." Their lips met. People cheered. Pacola wiped tears and pretended it was dust. Stella, who came home for the wedding with new skills and softer eyes, clapped till her hands hurt. Later, after food and dance and plenty of gist, the sun started to go down. Children chased balloons. Old women compared gele. Tunde and Amelia stood to the side, watching Nathan and Ruth laugh together as they greeted guests. "Do you remember the first day he came to our house?" Amelia asked. "Yes," Tunde said. "He looked like a man whose soul had slipped out." "See him now," she said softly. "God really knows how to join broken things." That night, in the small new house Nathan had built beside Pacola's own, he and Ruth sat on the small veranda. No glass walls, just stars. The air was cool. In the distance, they could hear water from the river. He held her hand. "Do you regret choosing a man with plenty of wahala?" he asked quietly. She smiled. "I chose a man who was lost, and now is found small," she said. "We will find the rest together." He chuckled. He thought of his old balcony in Lagos. The first night he prayed for someone who would love him with nothing. He thought of how that prayer dragged him across red roads, made him hold a hoe, made him eat yams with pepper, made him kneel under a mango tree and confess. He looked at her, at their joined hands, at the land that now truly belonged to her people. "Daddy," he said in his heart, "I think I understand your words now. Money with peace is blessing." He still had money. He had more peace than he had ever known. Ruth leaned her head on his shoulder. "Tomorrow," she said, "you will go back to the city again." "Yes," he answered, "but I will always come back here. This is home now." She nodded. "You can carry Lagos on your head," she said. "I will hold Aura in my hands. Together our children will know both." He turned to her, surprised. "Our children?" he asked, smiling. She placed his hand gently on her stomach. "Maybe one day," she said. He kissed her forehead. The stars above them looked brighter. The river kept moving, not in rush, not in fear, just steady, like their love now. Not perfect, but honest. And somewhere inside that quiet night, the boy who once stood on a glass balcony and begged for one true love finally rested. He was still a billionaire, but he was no longer alone.